Archangel Michael says, "You have been walking in circles, feeling as though the doors of your destiny have been locked, sealed away, and withheld from you. Yet I tell you today, a hidden property, a secret inheritance, a place that was never meant to be in the hands of the enemy, has now been transferred into your name. The heavens have shifted the title, the seal of ownership has been broken off by those who tried to hide it, and the angels have placed it in your possession. This is not just about land, brick, and walls. This is about your rightful territory, your generational blessing, your foundation being restored. For too long, others have whispered in shadows, covering up documents, concealing deeds, and signing agreements meant to blind your eyes. But light pierces darkness, and today, the scrolls have been unrolled. The angels of truth have searched, and what was hidden has been revealed. A property, physical and spiritual, has just become yours, and the address will shock you because it is closer than you think. It is not in the hands of strangers. It has always been waiting for you, waiting for the right moment of divine timing. You may feel like you have been left out, cheated, and overlooked, but heaven says no longer. That address they tried to erase from your destiny has been carved into the records of heaven with fire that cannot be deleted. This property is not only land, it is a prophetic symbol, a house of peace, a place where blessings will multiply, a foundation where your family will find rest. Archangel Michael declares, "I have stood guard over it. When papers were moved in secrecy, I was there. When someone signed to claim it as their own, I blocked their hand from sealing it fully. When voices rose against you, I thundered louder. This property has been marked with your name since the day of your birth, and though men tried to bury it, God has resurrected it. Now you will step onto land that your enemies swore you would never see. The address will shock you, because it is not only a physical location, it is also the exact place where your purpose collides with your promise. It is the place where your prayers finally touch earth. It is the ground that drinks in your tears and grows blessings out of them. You will not wander forever. You will not be a tenant in your own destiny. You will not live in borrowed places. Ownership is coming, and it is signed in the courts of heaven. They thought by hiding the key, they could stop you from entering. But Archangel Michael says, "I have broken the locks. I have commanded doors to open. I have placed the key in your hand. What is about to happen will shock those who mocked you. They will hear the address of your breakthrough, and their faces will fall. They will realize that what they tried to erase has been established stronger than ever. Even now, I see the angelic host moving papers, shifting documents, and clearing away lies. The enemy has no legal right. The one who tried to forge signatures has been exposed. The one who attempted to sit in your seat has been removed. The address is now shining like a beacon, it is yours. Prepare yourself, for when you see it, you will tremble. The address will hold a number that matches your destiny. The street name will echo a promise spoken long ago. Every detail will remind you that this was orchestrated by heaven and not by man. You will stand in awe, not just of the house, not just of the property, but of the God who never forgot you. Do not be surprised when you walk into rooms filled with peace. Do not be surprised when the land seems to welcome your feet. Do not be surprised when the very walls seem to sing of restoration. For you have stepped into a place designed for you. This is not coincidence, this is divine allocation. Archangel Michael warns, do not doubt this word. Do not allow fear to make you hesitate. The address has been stamped with heavenly authority. What is yours cannot be stolen again. Walk in faith, for the inheritance has already been transferred. Beloved, this property is more than a place to dwell. It is a prophetic act of God returning everything stolen, everything hidden, everything covered by deception. The address will shock you because it will show you that God has always been in the details, weaving together a story that only now comes into full view. This is your season of ownership. This is your season of restoration. This is your season of stepping into rooms that were locked, standing on ground that was fenced off, receiving blessings that were sealed in envelopes against your name. Today, those seals are broken. Today, the truth is revealed. Today, the property is yours. And when you stand before it, remember this. It is not just about the walls, the land, or the address. It is about the promise fulfilled. It is about the God who remembers His children. It is about the angels who fight for you when you cannot fight for yourself. It is about the victory that comes when heaven writes your name where man tried to erase it. The address will shock you, but the blessing will overwhelm you. Archangel Michael says, listen closely, for this message is not ordinary. It carries weight, it carries truth, and it carries the fire of heaven itself. You have been standing at the edge of something you cannot yet see, wondering why every door seemed closed, why every opportunity seemed to vanish at the last second, why it felt like unseen forces were pushing you away from what was rightfully yours. But hear me, what they tried to hide has been uncovered, what they tried to bury has been unearthed, and what they thought you would never hold is now in your possession. A secret property, concealed in the shadows, has just been released to you. For years it was guarded by lies, covered by deception, and locked away behind false signatures and hidden intentions. But heaven has declared that it belongs to you, and so it has been handed into your name. This is not just about a house or land. This is about spiritual authority, about your name being written in the heavenly registry, about your inheritance finally coming home. The address will shock you because it carries more than numbers and letters, it carries prophecy. The very digits will echo back to you promises you once thought forgotten. The street name will remind you of prayers whispered in silence. The city itself will align with the destiny you were born to walk in. Nothing about this is random. Nothing about this is chance. This was crafted, protected, and prepared for such a time as this. Michael continues, you have been tested. You have walked through valleys of doubt. You have cried out, wondering if God had left you behind. But while you were weeping, heaven was working. While you were waiting, angels were shifting. While you thought you had lost everything, the foundation of your blessing was being secured. The land is yours. The property is yours. The inheritance is yours. Think back to the moments when you felt a pull, a strange stirring in your spirit, as if something was calling you to claim territory, to stand in authority, to take hold of a promise. That was no accident. That was no imagination. That was the whisper of the Spirit pointing you toward the place that would one day be revealed. And now, the veil is being lifted. You must understand, this property is more than soil and walls. It is the place where your breakthrough will manifest. It is the ground where curses will break. It is the address where heaven will pour down blessings so abundant that even your enemies will have to admit you are chosen. They will drive by and see it. They will whisper about it. They will wonder how you got it. And the answer will be clear, heaven gave it. Do not think it strange that those who tried to block you are now silent. Do not think it strange that those who worked against you are now exposed. They held on to papers in secret, they tried to change titles in the night, but heaven does not sleep. Every hand that tried to alter your destiny has been removed. Every voice that spoke against you has been silenced. Every barrier that stood in your way has been demolished. The address will shock you because it is a place you never thought you could reach. It is in the realm of impossible, yet it has been made possible. It is where God shows off His power, where He says, "See what I can do for the one who remains faithful." You thought you would have to beg for scraps, but instead you are being handed keys. You thought you would wander, but now you will own. You thought you were forgotten, but now you are being remembered. And when you step inside, you will feel it. The air will carry peace. The walls will hum with restoration. The ground will seem to recognize you as its rightful owner. This is not fantasy. This is not imagination. This is fulfillment. Michael declares, "Step forward boldly. Do not shrink back in fear." This is the season where what was hidden becomes visible, where what was withheld becomes released, where what was stolen is returned sevenfold. The address is yours. The deed is sealed in heaven. Walk into your inheritance without hesitation. Beloved, your story is shifting. You will no longer be known as the one who was denied, but as the one who was favored. You will no longer be labeled as the one who was overlooked, but as the one who was chosen. This property, this address, this blessing, it is the evidence of heaven's hand upon your life. And when the moment comes, when the address is revealed in full, you will fall to your knees, not because of the property itself, but because of the undeniable truth that God never forgot you. Every prayer was stored. Every tear was recorded. Every cry was heard. And now, the answer stands before you in the form of an open door no man can shut. The address will shock you. But the glory will be even greater. Archangel Michael says, "The hour has come when no secret can remain hidden, when no scheme can stay buried, when no enemy plan can stand against the decree of heaven. For the Lord has spoken, and I am his messenger. What was concealed has now been revealed." The property that was covered in shadows, hidden in the silence of the night, guarded by those who hoped you would never discover it, is now unlocked. It has been shifted, placed in your hands, and assigned to your name. Do you understand what this means? This is not just about a house or a building. This is not just about a piece of land. This is about territory, territory in the natural and territory in the spirit. For too long, you have felt like a stranger, like one wandering in deserts without a home. For too long, others have lived off what was meant for you. For too long, you have been told you were too small, too weak, too unworthy to claim what was yours. But I say to you today, the lie is broken. The seal is shattered. The truth has been revealed. The address will shock you because it is not in a far land, it is within reach. It is closer than you dared to imagine. It is written not only on earthly papers but etched in heavenly scrolls. From the beginning, this place had your name. Angels have stood guard at its gates, waiting for this moment. Every attempt to steal it failed, though in your human eyes it looked like you were losing. Heaven saw, heaven recorded, and heaven restored. Michael continues, "They gathered in secret, signing their names on documents they thought would erase you. They whispered in rooms you were not invited into. They planned behind closed doors. But I stood at the threshold, and I said, 'You may write, but you cannot seal. You may plan, but you cannot prevail.' Every plan that was raised against you was marked with failure the moment it began. Beloved, this property is more than soil and stone. It is the marker of your inheritance. It is the promise that God Himself fights for you. It is the reminder that no matter how many gather against you, heaven always has the final word. Picture it, walking down the street and seeing the address written boldly, almost glowing, almost calling your name. Your heart will pound as you realize this is the very place you dreamed of. You thought it was lost. You thought it was impossible. Yet here it stands, yours, prepared, waiting. And when you open the door, when you step inside, it will feel like you've walked into destiny itself. You will sense peace, overwhelming peace. You will feel joy as if the walls themselves carry laughter. Every corner will echo restoration. For this is not just property, it is a prophetic altar, a dwelling place of blessing, a sign that your wandering season is over. Hear me now, the enemy tried to lock it away, but the locks are broken. The enemy tried to cover it, but the veil is torn. The enemy tried to stand in the doorway, but I, Michael, have drawn my sword and removed them. Nothing and no one can stop you now. The address will shock you, because it will connect to your story. Perhaps the number will match the years of your waiting. Perhaps the street will carry the name of something you once prayed about. Perhaps the city will align with a dream you thought forgotten. Every detail will whisper, "This was meant for you all along." And those who mocked you will be silenced. Those who said you would never rise will watch you walk into ownership. Those who laughed when you struggled will see you laugh from a place of blessing. The testimony will not be hidden, it will be public, undeniable, glorious. Michael declares, "Be bold. Do not hesitate. This is your moment. This is your land. This is your address. The inheritance belongs to you. The property is yours, and the address will shock you, but the greatest shock will be how heaven never abandoned you, how every step, every tear, every delay was only setting the stage for this moment of unveiling." Archangel Michael says, "I am standing in the midst of your story right now, and I speak with the authority of heaven. What you thought was gone has not been lost. What you thought was stolen has not been erased. What you thought you would never touch has already been written under your name in the records of eternity. A secret property, concealed by the hands of men and covered by shadows of deception, has now shifted into your possession. This is not rumor. This is not wishful thinking. This is a divine decree. The address will shock you, because heaven delights in surprising those who have endured seasons of disappointment. Heaven loves to show up in ways that human minds cannot predict. You will stand before the place and ask yourself, "How? How did this come to me?" And the answer will not come from man, nor from signatures, nor from lawyers, nor from hidden agreements. The answer will come from the voice of God Himself saying, "Because I remembered you." For years, you felt doors slammed in your face. You heard whispers of opportunity but could not see the evidence. You knew there was more but could not reach it. The reason, beloved, is because the property was under heavenly guard. It was never abandoned, only preserved until the moment was right. Every delay was protection. Every rejection was redirection. Every locked gate was an angel standing in front of it saying, "Not yet. But now the time has come." I see the scroll of ownership being unrolled. I see angels pressing your name into it like fire. I see seals breaking open that no hand of man can close again. And I hear the Lord saying, "Step forward. Step into what is yours. The ground has been cleared. The address is yours. This address is not ordinary. It carries a story. Its numbers align with your journey. Its street speaks of your purpose. Its foundation has been waiting for your feet to walk upon it. The address will shock you, because it will feel like prophecy fulfilled in the most specific, undeniable way. Think back to every time you dreamed of owning something that felt out of reach. Think back to every moment you prayed, asking for a sign. Think back to every promise you held on to when others told you to let go. This is the sign. This is the promise. This is the fulfillment. Michael continues, they thought they had hidden it well. They signed documents behind your back. They forged papers. They spoke lies in secret places. But I, Michael, stood with my sword drawn. Every attempt to shut you out failed in heaven's eyes. They only delayed themselves, for the moment has arrived when what belongs to you will not be held by another hand. When you see it, you will understand why the wait was so long. You will understand why doors kept closing. You will understand why you felt restless in places that never felt like home. Because this address, this land, this place, was chosen for you. Not for another. Not for a stranger. For you. Beloved, do not let fear whisper lies into your heart. Do not doubt this word. Do not wonder if you are worthy. The fact that you endured the waiting, the betrayal, the silence, is proof enough that you are chosen. This inheritance is your confirmation. The address will shock you. But the greater shock will be how every detail matches your destiny. It will be a holy reminder that God has been in control the entire time. And when you step across that threshold, heaven will rejoice. Angels will surround you. The atmosphere will shift. For this is not just a property, it is your testimony carved into the earth. Archangel Michael declares, "Rise, beloved. Claim what is yours. The inheritance is in your hands. The address is revealed. Walk in ownership, for heaven has written your name upon the land. The property is yours. The deed is sealed in heaven. And the address, oh, the address, will shock you." Archangel Michael says, "The voice of heaven is not silent concerning you." You have wondered if God still sees you, if He has forgotten the tears you have shed in secret, if the years of waiting have been in vain. But hear me, every tear has been recorded, every sigh has been remembered, and every cry has reached the throne of heaven. Now comes the moment when all things hidden are brought into the light. A secret property has just been released into your name, and what shocks you most will not just be the deed itself but the very address written upon it. The address carries meaning. It is no coincidence. The numbers, the street, the very location all echo with prophecy. You will look at it and realize that it is not random. It connects to your past, it speaks of your present, and it declares your future. This address is a signpost of destiny. For too long, others believed they could keep this from you. They held on to documents in secret. They tried to bury evidence. They used their influence to hide truth. But the courts of heaven never closed your case. Day and night, angels stood before the throne declaring your name, your rights, your inheritance. And now, the scroll has been unsealed. Michael continues, I was there when they whispered. I was there when they schemed. I was there when they drew up papers in the dark of night. And I struck down every false signature. I wiped away every forged attempt. I removed every obstacle. What is yours cannot be stolen any longer. What belongs to you has been secured under heaven's seal. Beloved, this property is not simply a blessing, it is a testimony. It will stand as a monument to the fact that heaven's timing is perfect. It will remind you daily that God restores what men try to take. It will declare to every onlooker that the hand of the Lord is mighty upon your life. When you stand at the threshold, your spirit will tremble. You will feel peace rush into you like a river. You will know that you have entered holy ground, because this property is more than land, it is a covenant. It represents promises fulfilled, battles won, and blessings released. The address will shock you, because it will show you how precise heaven's work is. Perhaps the number will match the years of your waiting. Perhaps the street name will echo a childhood dream. Perhaps the city itself will carry a prophetic message. Nothing is accidental. Everything is designed. And those who opposed you will watch in silence. They will see you rise, not by their permission but by God's decree. They will witness the fulfillment and be forced to admit that heaven fought for you. Michael declares, do not shrink back in fear. Do not let doubt rob you of joy. Walk boldly. Step into ownership. Receive what is already yours. Heaven has spoken. Earth must obey. The property is secured. The address is yours. This is more than provision, it is proof. Proof that you are not forgotten. Proof that your prayers are not wasted. Proof that the God of justice still moves in power. The address will shock you. But the testimony will lift you higher than you have ever stood before. Archangel Michael says, the heavens have opened and the scroll has been read aloud, and I have been sent to declare this word over you without delay. You have entered into a season of unveiling, where secrets cannot remain buried, where lies cannot stand, and where hidden blessings must come into the light. A property that was hidden in plain sight, locked away in silence, has now been stamped with your name. You did not chase it, you did not buy it with your own strength, and you did not force it with your own hand. Heaven has shifted it to you. The address will shock you. Yes, it will send chills down your spirit, because the moment you see it, you will know it is not random. It is not ordinary. It is not coincidence. The digits, the letters, the very location will whisper, this was meant for you since the beginning. Beloved, you must understand, territory in the natural mirrors territory in the spiritual. This property is more than soil, more than wood, more than brick. It is a key. It is evidence that what the enemy tried to bury in your bloodline has been resurrected. It is proof that heaven has the final word. I saw them, those who plotted in secret. I saw them moving papers behind closed doors. I saw them hoping you would never find out. They thought by hiding it long enough, it would never reach you. But they underestimated the one who never forgets. They did not account for the angels who stand guard over destiny. They did not see me draw my sword and block their final move. Michael continues, every signature they placed falsely has been blotted out. Every seal they thought was permanent has been cracked. Every barrier they set up has been dismantled. What belongs to you cannot be stolen anymore. What was delayed has now been delivered. The scroll in heaven matches the deed on earth, and your name is written on both. You have walked through years of waiting, feeling as though your life was suspended between promises and fulfillment. And yet, every delay was divine strategy. Every no was a setup for this yes. Every rejection was protection for what was truly yours. If you had settled for less, you would not have reached this. If you had forced doors open yourself, you would not have arrived at this address. Now, hear me, this property is not just a place to dwell. It is an altar. It is a marker in your timeline. It is the very ground where heaven and earth meet, where your prayers become visible. It is the signpost declaring that God remembers His children. The address will shock you, because it will carry meaning tied to your very soul. Perhaps the numbers will match a scripture that has carried you through your storms. Perhaps the name of the street will remind you of someone you once lost, now restored in spirit. Perhaps the land itself will echo a promise given to your family long ago. You will not just see it, you will know it. And when you walk inside, the walls will carry peace. The air will feel lighter. The atmosphere will confirm what your spirit already knows. This is yours. This is holy ground. Your enemies will tremble when they hear of it. They will realize that every effort they made to stop you only delayed themselves. They will know that the hand of God is upon you. They will be silenced, not by your words, but by undeniable proof that heaven has elevated you. Michael declares, step forward. Do not fear. Do not shrink back. This address is yours. The ground is secured. The deed is eternal. Walk boldly into the place heaven has prepared for you. Beloved, this property is not simply about wealth or possession, it is about restoration. It is about your name being lifted, your honor being restored, your destiny being confirmed. This is the turning point where you move from being the overlooked one to the owner, from the rejected one to the chosen, from the waiting one to the inheritor. The address will shock you, but the glory will overwhelm you.